Annex A Control 5.6, contact with special interest groups. And yes, I know it sounds like the most skippable control in the entire standard. It sounds like a bit of admin. It sounds like something a committee added at 4 in the afternoon because they'd run out of real ideas. It isn't. This one is genuinely load-bearing, and I'll tell you why in about 90 seconds. Here's the actual requirement. In plain words, your organization shall establish and maintain contact with special interest groups, specialist security forums, and professional associations. That's it. That's the control. And the purpose behind it is where it gets interesting. You do it so you receive early warnings, advisories, and patches. You do it so you can share and gain best practice. You do it so you stay current on the threat landscape rather than discovering it secondhand 6 weeks late from someone who is very much not on your payroll. Let me put that in the negative, because the negative is where it lands. If you're not plugged in anywhere, you find out about the critical vulnerability in your own stack when a customer emails you about it. Sit with that for a second, a customer. Someone who pays you money for the privilege of being more informed about your infrastructure than you are. That is the failure mode this control exists to prevent. And I have never once seen a company describe that experience as character building. Now, is it new in 2022? No, this one has been kicking around in some form for a long time. What changed in the 2022 revision is the neighborhood it now lives in. It sits right next to Annex A Control 5.5, Contact with Authorities, and it feeds directly into Annex A Control 5.7, Threat Intelligence, which is genuinely new, and that pairing matters. So hold on to it, I'll come back to it. Right? Let's make this real, because abstract compliance talk is where good intentions go to die. 12-person software company sells a scheduling tool. Let's call the overworked person Dave, because there's always a Dave. Dave is the head of engineering, the head of security, the person who set up the single sign-on, and the person who fixes the office printer.
To abandon you.
Cute. So what does right size look like for Dave? Not a security operations center, not a paid intelligence subscription with a quarterly briefing deck, not membership of 9 professional bodies so the certificates look good on the wall. Dave needs about 4 things, and honestly, he could set them up in an afternoon. 1. Subscribe to the vendor advisory feeds for the things he actually runs. His cloud provider, his main framework, his database, his operating system images. If a thing is in production and it has a security mailing list, Dave is on that mailing list. That is not sophisticated, that is just being awake. 2. Subscribe to the national level advisories for wherever he operates in the United Kingdom. That's the National Cybersecurity Center. There are equivalents everywhere. They are free, they are competent, and they will email you. 3. Join 1 or 2 actual communities. A sector group, a regional security meetup, a well-moderated forum where people who run similar stacks talk about what just broke. This is the share and gain best practice, half of the control, and it's the half everyone quietly ignores because it doesn't generate a document. 4. And this is the bit that turns a subscription into a control. It has to land somewhere with a name attached, and something has to happen when it lands. An advisory arriving in a shared inbox that nobody opens is not contact with a special interest group. That's just a slower form of ignorance. Now let's talk about the ways this actually falls over, because there are 3, and I've got opinions about all of them. Failure mode 1. Total isolation. The company genuinely isn't subscribed to anything. Nobody follows a single feed. Their entire early warning system is the trade press, which means they learn about things once they've become newsworthy, which is roughly the point at which the exploitation has already happened. This is more common than anyone admits, and it's usually not laziness. It's that nobody was ever given the job. Failure mode 2, and this is my favorite, the subscription that goes to a person who left. Dave signs up using his own work address. Dave gets a better offer 18 months later, and now the most important security feed in the company is bouncing quietly into the void. Nobody notices, because the absence of alerts feels exactly like the absence of problems. It feels great, right up until it doesn't. Use a shared monitored address, please. Failure mode 3, the performance version. The company joins 3 professional associations, puts the logos in the footer, mentions membership in every sales deck, and has not opened a single advisory in a year. Adorable. That's not
Wait, what? To abandon you on a...
Which brings me back to the pairing I told you to hold on to. Annex A Control 5.6 is the input. Annex A Control 5.7, Threat Intelligence, is what you do with the input. Contact without analysis is a newsletter habit. Analysis without contact is you guessing. You need both, and honestly, for a 12-person company, they're basically one process with 2 names on it. The other neighbor's worth knowing. Annex A Control 5.5, Contact with Authorities, is the regulator and law enforcement side of the same instinct. And Annex A Control 8.8, Management of Technical Vulnerabilities, is where the advisory turns into an actual patch on an actual server. Annex A Control 5.24, Information Security Incident Management Planning and Preparation, is who you phone at 2 in the morning. Clause 6.1.2 is where your risk assessment is supposed to notice that we have no idea what's coming, is itself a risk. Here's my honest editorial position on all of this. The information security world loves controls that produce artifacts. Because artifacts are easy to show an auditor, this control produces almost nothing, a list of memberships. A shared inbox, maybe a note in a meeting minute saying we discussed the advisory and did the thing. And yet it's one of the few controls that changes what time you find out. Everything else in your management system is about how well you respond. This one is about whether you get to respond at all, or whether you get to apologize instead. So here's the dare, and it's a small one, which is exactly why you have no excuse. Before you close this, open a document, write down every security advisory feed your company is currently subscribed to, not the ones you meant to, the live ones. Then, next to each, write the name of the human being who opens it. If that document is empty, you've just found your finding. If that document has names on it, and one of those names left the company, congratulations, you found a better one.